Hello everybody and welcome back to MUFC MPB here on YouTube. My name is Brooks and of course today is Saturday the 30th of March. Manchester United do play later today. We have the late kickoff against Brentford at 8 p.m. So this will be out before and ready for you to watch all before kickoff in good time. So as you can tell by the title, as you can tell by the thumbnail of the video, and of course what is on my screen right now, Manchester United are preparing a £100 million double transfer swoop of one player, which you can see on the screen, and another player who we will be talking about straight after this. But we are going to start with Gleison Bremer. The Brazilian centre-back is currently playing for Juventus. However, he was a Torino man before moving to Juventus, and I think 2023 this would be his second season, and he is a good centre-back. I've seen him play a few times. I haven't seen him play as much as I'd, of course, watch Manchester United play or anything like that. But what I do know is that he's a very robust, quick across the ground, and quite an aggressive centre-back. He's not going to fly into challenges and all of that. But I think, I don't know how, I'm going to try and get my thoughts out of my head and into your ears, basically. He's not a brute. He's silkier than he looks, is what I was trying to say. That makes sense in my head. It might not make sense to you. But according to Sport Witness, Manchester United are willing to pay Gleison Bremer's £51 million release clause and avoid any negotiations with Juventus. And I think this is a good idea. I think getting a centre-back of this quality for 51 million or well, it will literally be 51 million is an astute piece of work. He's got a lot of potential left in him. He's still relatively young. He's 26 for a centre-back in today's game. I think is a good age to be. You're buying someone not quite yet in their prime, but someone who's approaching it and could benefit Manchester United massively. I think this will be a good move. I don't know if this means that he's our first choice centre-back. I don't know if he's top of the list. Regardless, I'd still get him. I'd still try and get another centre-back in like a Jarrad Branthwaite as well as Bremer, not just him being the sole centre-back incoming. Because I feel like what we have right now is a situation where we have two or three centre-backs who are constantly injured. They might not be injured at the same time, but there's like a rotation of injuries. Lindelof, Varane, Maguire. I don't want to put Martinez in that because before his big injury, he wasn't really, picking up injuries here and there. So I'm not going to put Martinez in that list. So you have three centre-backs there. You have Johnny Evans, who apparently is going to retire it at the end of the season. So I'm not going to mention him. But then you also have Luke Shaw, who can cover as a centre-back, but he, is very unreliable in terms of fitness. Then you have, did I even put Maguire on that list? Basically, we don't have a centre-back or two that can just stay fit for the whole season. And because of the people that we have covering who also can't stay fit for a whole season, it just means everything is unbalanced. It would be a big factor in why we've conceded so many goals this season. It's why Onana's having to face 20 shots a game, which really shouldn't be a thing. Bringing in Bremer, who to my knowledge doesn't have the worst injury record, who is and probably would be one of our top two centre-backs if he was to come in the summer, I think is a good piece of work for 51 million as well, for a 26-year-old who definitely looks like he could keep up with the pace of the Premier League. I think is good work. Bring in another centre-back as well, like Branthwaite. I think those two will be able to fill the positions very well, whether it's first choice or cover. I think this is his job that needs to be done. Now, the second part of the £100 million transfer swoop, if you were using your brains, you'd realise this will be another 50-ish million pounds spent. It's going to be on Dani Olmo. I'm going to start off by saying I can't remember who Spain played the other day. Can't remember the team. But Olmo nutmegged this guy. He nuts this guy in the box. It was like a reverse elastico. Nutmegged him in the box. Got it past another player. Who were they playing against? Can't remember it was an international game. I can't remember who they were playing against, but this guy's silky, and he's been silky for a long time. But just according to Mail Sport, Simon Jones, that is, Manchester United and Real Madrid are among the clubs maintaining a watching brief on RB Leipzig's Dani Olmo this summer. The player has a £52 million release clause. Just do it. I think when it comes to release clauses this low relative to how good the player is, I think it's just something that needs to get done. You have someone there. He's not gonna beat you for pace. He's not going to skin you alive when he's running past you. He's not that type of an attacking midfielder. He's not like a Kaka. He's someone who gets on the ball and he'll nutmeg you. He'll have the ball glued to his foot and then slip a ball through or find the back of the net, because he is quite prolific. He is a regular scorer for Spain as well. Like, I've wanted him. I say want him. I'm not like going into every transfer window saying, oh yeah, we have to get Dani Olmo. But every time I see him, I'm like, oh yeah, like he'd actually be quite good in the Premier. He'd actually be quite good at Manchester United. And I don't think he'd be a player that we really see at Manchester United that much. I think if he was to go to a Manchester City, I think he'd fit like a glove. He's that type of player. He's going to get on the ball, pick the pockets to space up, play in between the lines. He can also take the ball past you and slip a ball through. He can do pretty much everything. And I think as well, you have a lot of room for growth as well at Manchester United. He could become the focal point of Manchester United's creativity in the midfield if we were to get him in a few years, if Bruno Fernandes was to leave it. He's that type of a level of player. I think he'd be a massive addition to the team. And for £52 million as well, just by playing his release clause, I think that is a no-brainer as well. And it is coming from a reliable source. Of course, everything tweeted by MUFC MPB is from a reliable source. But let me know in the comment section down below if you would sign these two players. For me, I think it is a definite yes. I think signing Dani Olmo, whether or not he's a first teamer or he's going to start on the bench or be a rotation player with Bruno Fernandes, when you're able to rest players like Bruno Fernandes and not have an immediate drop-off in quality, I think it's necessary. Because look, if Bruno Fernandes isn't playing now, you've got Mason Mount. Yeah, he's a very good player, but he hasn't played this season because of injuries. If you don't play Mason Mount there, you're going to have to start playing McTominay in Bruno Fernandes' position. If you have someone like Dani Olmo there, if Bruno Fernandes needs a rest or he's injured, you have someone there who could come in and replicate what Fernandes does. He could be better than Bruno Fernandes. These are the type of players you need to bring in if you really want to be pushing trophies every season, if you want to be higher up in the league, if you want to get more points. Because at the moment, we see Manchester United tired. We're just tired all the time. We're not pressing. We're not doing this and that. But it's because we're playing the same players every single game, giving them 90s every single game, because Ten Hag knows and we know that the next player up in line just doesn't cut it. They just don't cut the quality. That's why signing someone like Dani Olmo, signing someone like Gleison Bremer is very, very important. It just helps. It will just help everything. Listen, let Ten Hag cook. But I'm going to say as well, because this is coming out before the match, there will be a little tiny bit of a section about the match. I'm going to give a score prediction. The squads aren't out yet for me as I'm recording this, so all I can do is give a squad prediction as well. And then, of course, we'll see if I'm right. But actually, yeah, let's see if I'm right. If you are watching this before the Brentford game kicks off, leave your predictions in the comments down below. So leave your score prediction and leave your starting lineup. I'm going to go Onana. I'm going to go Wan-Bissaka at left back. I don't think Martinez is going to start, but I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm going to risk it and say Martinez. I might sound dumb, but Varane as well. I can't remember if he's injured or not. And then obviously Dalot at right back. Manu was ill, but I'm going to say he starts. It's going to be Kobe Manu partnered with probably Scott McTominay. And then Bruno Fernandes in front. Rashford on the left, Garnacho on the right. And of course, Højlund up front. And I'm going to go, it's at the community stadium, which is Brentford Stadium. And I'm going to go over 3-2 win to Manchester United, because Turner will probably bag. We'll probably concede a goal. We'll fall asleep, concede another goal, but we'll somehow end up scraping a win. So I'm going to go over 3-2 to Manchester United. Onana in goal, Wan-Bissaka at left back, Martinez and Varane centre backs. I can't remember if Varane's injured or not, so that might just be completely wrong. Dalot at right back, McTominay, Manu and Fernandes in the midfield, Rashford on the left, Garnizzi on the right, and I'm going to go Rasmus Højlund up front. A 3-2 win to Manchester United. Leave your predictions in the comment section down below. But it is coming to the end of the episode. Make sure you do hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. If you haven't already, make sure you go over to X and follow at MUFCMPB, as well as myself and all of the other presenters. All of our links will be in the description down below. Of course, I hope Manchester United win in just a couple of hours. I'll go for a 3-2 win to Manchester United. Let's hope that comes through, because we need to start picking up these points. We're getting a lot of players back from injury now. But I will see you guys later. Thank you very much, and goodbye.